Section 9.2 focuses on probability trees and the multiplication rule. And example 9.2.1 explains how a tree diagram can be used to find sample space, especially for some tricky situation. So I hope that you are able to follow this example and learn how to construct a tree diagram. Now my video is gonna focus on multiplication rule. So here we will learn what it is and how to apply it. And multiplication rule is one of the most important rules that is useful in counting. Now what is that? So here's the multiplication rule. If an operation consists of k steps, and the first step can be performed in n1 number of ways, and second step n2 number of ways, and the kth step in nk number of ways, then the entire operation can be performed in n1 times n2 times all the way up to nk number of ways. So this is really the tricky thing is for an operation or a task. How do you count how many ways this operation can be done in how many ways? You need to be cleverly break down this operation into steps, and each step you know how many ways to do that, and then you just multiply them all out. So this is the tricky thing is how to break this into steps. That's the challenge that you may have. Now the best way to master how to apply this multiplication rule is to do a whole bunch of different problems. Let's start with the first problem here. Okay, so vehicle license plates are formed with 3 letters followed by 3 numbers, and you may see that in many vehicles in Omaha they are like that. Now first question is how many different license plates are possible with repetition allowed? Okay, so how do we use this multiplication rule to count how many such license plates are possible? So we are going to break the whole, like suppose this is a license plate. There were 6, it's formed with 3 letters and 3 numbers, right? So 6, we need 6 characters. Now step 1, you just think of forming a license plate using 6 steps. The step 1, you pick a letter to fill in for the first character. And how many ways can we do that? There are 26 ways we can do that because there are 26 letters, right? And step 2, you're going to choose another letter to fill for the second character. So therefore, there's another 26 letters available, 26 ways. Similarly, step 3, you have 26. Now step 4, it has to be a number. So we have 10 numbers available. So there are 10 number of ways to do that. So we will be 10. And similarly for the 5th and 6th character, they're all 10 ways for each because they're all numbers, right? So now, according to the multiplication rule, step 1, there are 26 ways. Step 2 is 26 ways, and so on and so forth. We just need to multiply. That's how many possible ways we can form a license plate. So therefore, we just simply multiply them together. So as a result, this is going to be 26 cubed times 10 cubed, which turns out to be 17,576,000 possible plates. Right? Now, let's move on to the next one. How many license plates could begin with A and end in 0? So you already know the 6 characters. The first one is an A. The last one is a 0. So there's how many ways to fill in the first character? Only one way, because you know it's 8 for sure. So there's only one way, right? So therefore I'm going to move this up here. And step 1, there's only one way to fill in the first character. And of course, similarly, for the last number, there's only one way. So this is one way. This is step 1, say step 2. Suppose that's my step 2. And for the middle, those 4 characters, so step 3, 4, 5, 6, I need to fill in those characters. And these 2 are numbers, so therefore we have 26 different ways to fill in that, 26 different ways for the third character, and 10 ways for the next 2 numbers. So therefore we just need to multiply them. Okay. Sometimes I don't even bother to multiply by 1. I just say 26 squared times 10 squared, which is 26 squared is 676, and times 100, which is 67600. So that's how many possible license plates beginning with A and ending 0. All right, similarly, you can do the other ones. I hope that you can pause the video and then give a try first by yourself. How many license plates could begin with MCC? So in other words, those 3 letters are determined, MCC. All we need to worry about is the last 3 numbers, right? So in this case, you can ignore your task for the first 3 letters. Is you no longer need to worry about that. So step 1 is to fill in this number. Step 2 is to fill in the second number. Step 3 is to fill in the last number. So each one of those, there were 10 ways to do that. So therefore, how many license plates are there with starting with MCC? So 1,000. Now, how many license plates could begin with AB and have all letters and digits distinct? In other words, we do not allow repetition. When AB are used, it cannot be used anymore. So now, because it begins with AB, so the task begins, our task begins with filling out the third letter and the rest of those 3 numbers, right? So I'm going to say this is my task can be done with step 1 is to fill in another letter. Because A and B are used, cannot be used again. So we are left with 24 letters for us to choose from. And the next step, step 2, we need to fill in a number. There were 10 numbers available, so 10 ways to do that. And the next step, step 3, one number has been chosen here. It should not be used anymore. Once 1 is used, only 9 is left available for you to choose. So therefore, only 9 numbers available to fill in the next digit. And the last digit, step 4, because 2 numbers are already used in here and here, so we are left with 8 numbers available to choose from. So therefore, this is going to be 8. And then, according to the multiplication rule, we just multiply them together. And this is equal to 17,280. All right, last part of this problem. How many license plates are possible in which all the letters and digits are distinct? Okay, hopefully at this moment you're getting a lot more proficient now on how to break these tasks into steps. So your step 1, step 2, we have 6 steps because we have 6 blanks to fill in, right? So these are the 6 steps. Step 1, 2, 3, we need to fill in letters. 4, 5, 6, fill in numbers. And we start with 26 letters available. Once the first blank is filled in a letter, the letter field here should not be used, cannot be used again. So therefore we are down to 25 available now for the second letter, and then 24 for the same reason, 24 letters available for the third letter. And as far as for the numbers, we begin with 10 numbers available. Once one is used, 9 available, and then 8 available for the very last one. Okay, so this gives us, actually if you multiply all these together, this is 11,232,000 number of plates.